This is me in London watching Dimash. This is the third time I've seen him live, which is quite funny to think about. I remember the first time I discovered him, someone had left a comment on one of my videos saying,
"You need to check out this guy from Kazakhstan. His name is Dimash Qudaibergen. You should check out a song called SOS."
Of course, I'd never heard of Dimash or the song. The comment was very hyperbolic, as a lot of comments I receive are for every artist. It was saying he does what no one else can do, that kind of thing. So of course, I had to check it out. My channel was still quite new at the time, only a couple of months old. I think I released my video on a Tuesday because back then I thought that the day of the week you release a video really matters. If you release it on the weekend, that's much better because more people are free. I had no idea what was to come. That was my 79th video. Little did I know that I would end up seeing him live multiple times, meeting many other fans, traveling to go and see him. So I'd like to thank you. Every video you've ever watched, interacted with, liked, commented on with your suggestions of other Dimash songs for me to check out. And of course, to those of you who have very generously donated to me on my Buy Me a Coffee, you're the ones who have really enabled and allowed me to go and see him. And not just me, I was able to take my mother as well. She's been a huge fan of Dimash ever since I first showed her him immediately after I discovered SOS, and her face all through the concert was just like, I even forgot my glasses, but she remembered the binoculars. So yeah, just a big thank you again. Music is a wonderful thing, and Dimash is certainly a unique musician. I know you're probably wanting to hear my thoughts on the concert, so I will give them, but first here are just a few clips of some of the journey to the venue. Before the concert, we went to a pub right across the road from it. There were a lot of deers in there that I noticed, a lot of Dimash clothing and items and Kazakh flags. I saw someone in a Dimash Wales fan club hoodie, so shout out to all of you. As I was ordering at the bar, I heard Hijo de la Luna playing. Very operatic in style. It was quite difficult to hear because of the noise, but it was Forestella. I was thinking, how bizarre is this? I'm here for a Dimash concert. I've never once heard Forestella being played anywhere in public. And then after that, Dimash came on. And every song thereafter, for the duration we were in the pub, was Dimash. So the pub was playing a Dimash playlist and some Forestella, which was a very nice touch, a very nice start to everything. Anyway, then we went into the venue for the concert. It was the same venue, the OVO Wembley Arena, in which I saw Lara Fabian in June 2025, and that was where I saw Dimash for the second time. He sang a duet with her, Adagio. So feel free to check out my 2 videos on that experience. The concert was 1 video, and I did a video on that Adagio duet. Now, the time had come to see him for the 3rd time. His own concert, part of the Stranger Tour. That was the same tour in which I saw him in Budapest in 2024. I made a video on that too, by the way, showing clips from going around Budapest, so feel free to check that one out as well afterwards. So I think what I'll do now is just give a very brief and general summary of the concert, and then at the end I'll show some clips from the concert. It's important to remember when you see those clips that I went as a concert goer, not a videographer or a video maker. I went to go and see and experience Dimash live. I didn't film everything, maybe 30 or 20 seconds from every single song, and then I just put my phone away and enjoyed the experience, the performances. My phone is better than last time. If you've seen my Budapest video, I can zoom in a lot more with this phone, so that's a plus. The sound quality is not so great, but I had my phone. I didn't have a professional microphone or anything. Look, I enjoy Dimash's music, and it's very different experiencing it live than seeing it in a video online. I use the word experiencing because it's not just listening. When you're there in person live, it's just so different. It's mental. So if you are ever able to watch him live, just do it. I know it can be very expensive, especially with travel, and believe it or not, even though I'm a big music lover, I don't actually go to that many live musical concerts. But I really do think that experiencing him live is worth it. All right, onto the concert itself. Just got in. Now looking for our seats. He started off with the English national anthem and then the Kazakh national anthem. I've found his concerts tend to be very symbolic of cultural unity. You can just see it by the fans at each concert, all of the flags that you can see, all of the different languages you can hear being spoken. Everyone united by Dimash and his music. So this was a really interesting way to open the show, but it makes sense in the wider context. Now, the show itself, by my counting, there were about 25 to 28 songs. That is massive. Huge. The stamina on that man is ridiculous. There was no interval. It's just absurd to think about, especially considering what he does, some of the stuff that he is singing. We all know this, so I'm not going to sit here and spend time talking about it in amazement. At the end of the concert, around 10:15 p.m, and the concert started just after 7:30 p.m, a lot of people started to leave, probably to make their last train home. Dimash said he would do one more song, so that's what I was waiting for. In that time before this final song, he spent about 20 or maybe even 30 minutes. A lot of time thanking every single member of his team that was there, letting them all have their own little solo moment, going and performing with some of them. He even called up 3 of them who had recently had birthdays. We all sang happy birthday to each of them individually, so 3 times over, maybe even 4 times. This speaks a lot about Dimash as a person. He's thoughtful, caring, and we can see this in a lot of his music, I feel, the subject matter. I was hoping for that final song to be Autumn Strong, İkinaide. That happened in Budapest. But instead, he chose a more modern song, or a more modern sounding song, and we had actually already heard that song earlier in the concert. Give Me Your Love, I think, is the song title. Now, when I do show the clips of the concert after I finish this summary, the audio quality is completely incomparable to the feeling in person. I cannot put into words the difference in the experience between the two, so I will not attempt to, just trust me on this one. Since Budapest last year, I have done 24 Dimash videos on my channel. The experience of my first ever time seeing him there in Budapest is going to be different to seeing him now for the 3rd time. Back then, I would expect most of the songs to be new to me because I was quite new to Dimash. And this time round, the expectation is still somewhat there. He performed 25 songs or so. I've done about 40 different songs by Dimash. And I think of the songs that he did at this concert, I've done videos on about half of the 25 he performed, maybe slightly less than half. I feel this time round, compared to Budapest last year, Dimash included a lot more of these either modern songs or songs with a more modern feel, quite funky, very upbeat, a lot of Michael Jackson influence. I may be slightly biased because the majority of the 40 Dimash videos on my channel are not these songs. They are the more, the slower, slightly more emotional songs. So let me know your thoughts on this if you've seen him many times. If you're noticing these days he's taking a slightly more modern music direction. From the songs that I have done videos on that he performed, we had Olimpico, Ave Maria, Unforgettable Day, Stranger, El Amor, and Ti, Döderaz. I might be forgetting a couple. As usual, there were some slight differences in terms of the arrangements here and there. The most notable one though was SOS, which he did sitting down at the front of the stage. Very cool. It's just such a great song that he performs so well, and it's obviously nostalgic for me because that was the song I first heard from him. It's really quite a strange thing seeing him perform live because what he does and what he's able to do is so remarkable. You can feel your throat closing up when you watch him, and I'm not joking. I swear at times I felt like I was losing my voice just from watching him. Ridiculous, I know. And I also think that very, very, very deep down, somewhere in the back of your head, there's a little smidgen of fear. Fear that he is going to collapse or injure himself or have a heart attack or something, just because of the energy he has and what he's doing up there, singing, dancing, speaking, running out of breath during all of it.
I feel peace, I feel love, I feel home. Thank you for making me feel that way.
You can see the sweat. You kind of think to yourself, Dimash, mate, calm down, mate, you know, chill. But he just wants to put on a great show, 150% effort. And that's why these shows are long, 3 hours without an interval. How often do you get that elsewhere? He does get breaks. There are some videos shown in the background when he is off stage. Backgrounds to songs. His brother came on for a song. But yeah, just the stamina of Dimash is a joke. He needs to be studied. So that wraps up my summary. The last thing that I was thinking of on my journey home, he mentioned that a lot of the performers with him, the vocalists, the drummer, for example, they are ex-classmates. He studied with them at university. His brother came on and performed.
I hope you're enjoying it. Do your best.
His parents were there. Imagine that, all the jobs and opportunities he's giving to people who are close to him. They're traveling the world together, doing what they love. It's just amazing, really. All right, that's enough speaking from me. Once more, if you can go and see Dimash live, please do. I promise you it's worth it and it's an experience you won't forget. There's a reason people go and see every single concert he does, right? Let's roll the clip. I'll just include one short clip from every single song he performed, shot by me from my seat. Like I mentioned before, I wasn't there being a professional videographer. I'm not a videographer. I'll just show short clips from each song and that will still take up a long time because he did so many. And of course, out of respect for Dimash and the concert goers, I don't want to show the whole concert because that's basically piracy, isn't it?
United Kingdom. We are golden. have a body in my eyes, but can you see the real me? Mahabat bir magandaktır, mahabat bir mahas. Sen yourself lost, feel them in the sea. You come as I can see. That jacket too empty, see that woman. There's a secret that give us life. Billions of words. Üzerim gegen kendisini soldas benim bezaras bezaras.